they were given freedom in height. So that's why you
24
have
inches
some really
wide
tall
is what
works.
she said was the
This work behind me,
width.
the artist didn't pay attention, and it's a bit larger than 24 inches wide. This is by Tucker Nichols, and he built this out of used museum furniture, pedestals, wedges, different things. Those little gray boxes in the middle, just because you guys know our exhibition history, are the mounts from inside being Jewish. You might remember the object sat on little gray boxes. So he wanted to build the piece out of recycled museum furniture. So
And it's all from our museum?
some he brought in from other places. This work here I want you to pay close attention to and stay back from, because the pieces, the branches branch out beyond that wood platform. So just sort of watch yourself and watch people's bodies around it. It's just it sort of comes out at you in unexpected ways. The work that's in the corner over there by Jane Martin uses the blue steel, from the CJM. The artist's brother worked for the company that put the blue steel up on the building, so she was able to get some. And it's actually a musical instrument. So that cord hanging, when this work is taken off the wall, can be plugged into an amp and can actually be played. And there's a couple different musical instruments that make up the piece. It's really a neat work. So all the works in the Invitational are for sale. And Kevin in the store is managing all that. So if people ask you, just direct them down to the store. Another thing I want to mention, two other things I want to mention. So the works are for sale, with 50% of the proceeds benefiting the artist and 50% going to the museum.
They're straight for sale, or I thought it was an auction?
It's not an auction.
Okay, straight for sale. Okay.
We hope that a lot of the works will sell the night of the opening on Wednesday, but the rest of the works will be on sale through the run of the exhibition. Yeah.
The installed ones, would they be installed in someone's house?
No, they would have to pay for a service. We would recommend a service for people to have them installed. The other thing I want to mention is there's a People's Choice Award. You may remember we had this last time for the Seder plate. There's directions on the intro wall for the Invitational for people to do it out here. And I want to point out it's that shelf that's outside there, where people will be able to write their favorite. There'll be also a booklet to remind people of what they saw and to hopefully not confuse people so that they don't vote on works that are in the Invitational but are in the other show. And then there's also an award given by a jury as well. So there's People's Choice and then a jury award, and that's a nice thing for people to know as well. Yeah?
Can I just ask you about this piece for a moment? The text that's in
Yeah.
this, do you know?
I know. I'm not sure. The artist will be here probably at the opening. You can ask him. I'm not sure. Colleen, do you know anything about the text?
I don't know, but we could email feedback.
Yeah, we can email him if we don't find out. Yeah. Over here, I want to point out the video works. This work is made by Mayram Sur, who's a local artist, also originally from Israel. And she works under her alias, Sarah Gray. And Sarah Gray is a pseudoscientist who researches all the mysteries of the world. And here she's researching what the tree of knowledge was. And there's much speculation by rabbis for centuries, what was the tree of knowledge. And here she's grafted together lots of different trees from all the different theories. And on this video with headphones is a little short video that she made of her as Sarah Gray, in her lab, trying to figure out what it is. This video is the Naomi Kramer piece, which is the robin being born and the egg that she found in a sculpture in her garden. And this final video is by Hartley Swedler, which is absolutely hilarious. So just watch it when you're back in the gallery. It's him standing around Paris, dancing and singing, tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree. It's very fun. I should point out Helene Elan's glass, which is an homage to Hagar, and wishing that Hagar had had a tree to protect her when she was out in the desert. And she's written a blessing for Hagar that appears in English on the front, Arabic on the right, and Hebrew on the left. They're printed on these napkins.
Who's that again?
This is Helene Elan.
Well, this will be totally open, right? There's going to be no
That's
case
right.
or anything.
Right.
It's be all. Are the videos also for sale?
Yes.
Will there be a marking that shows?
No. They have, people have to go down and ask.
Okay.
And the price list is in the store with Kevin and everything.
That's right, yeah.
Should we say that in the beginning or then?
I think that's great, yeah. It says it outside on the wall, so it'd be great if you told people that, yeah.
I think
You don't have to dwell on
There,
it.
yeah, I mean, there's a fine line. We want people to know, but I don't want any of you to feel like or sound like you're making a sales pitch. So it's a fundraiser, but I don't want people to come feeling like, oh, that docent was trying to like sell me.
Yeah,
So
you can
it's a
just-
weird.
You can say it like, the Dorothy Sachs Invitational is a long standing series we do at the museum where artists are invited to do work, and it's for sale as a fundraiser for the museum.
So just the things for sale are just in this section?
Not just this section, but the invitational, starting where you turn the corner.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's. There are about 54 works, 52 works. 54 works for sale. The lighting of the show is not finished. This area is the Jewish thought section, seeing the forest through the trees, and this is the introduction. But then after that, you can really walk any way you want through it. The red panels sort of start you off for each section, but it doesn't really matter which way you go. You can sort of learn something in every direction that you go, and it's sort of a conceptual map of the trees that appear in Jewish culture and tradition. So like loosely, this is trees in the Torah, different things that you can learn about trees in the Torah. Over here is the connection of Jewish life to the agricultural cycle, and then information on the Tu B'Shvat Seder, which is part of the Jewish calendar, which is all tied to the agricultural cycle. And then on this wall, you have trees and the Kabbalah on the right-hand side, and that really sweet drawing on the top is the different rabbis lost in the Pardes, that visual of the people with the arms that you see from the top. And then in the middle is information about planting trees in Israel in the iconic blue box. And on this little monitor is Choni the Circle Maker, the great Godcast video for Tu B'Shvat, which will be headphones, as well as explaining Bal Tashchit, where the title of the show comes from, Do Not Destroy, which is also explained in the intro wall as well. So this is the full quote from the Torah.
So what do you call this section again? I didn't.
Well, it's called Seeing the Forest Through the Trees,
Okay.
Trees and Jewish Thought. So in the title of the exhibition is Do Not Destroy, Trees, Art, and Jewish Thought, so it's sort of like the Jewish thought
And
piece
this
of
was
it.
all put together by Dove Abramson?
Well, Dove Abramson designed it, and then we developed the content with it inside in the museum. Yeah, yeah, and we worked with him because the content, normally when you work with a designer, they don't even, or often when you work with a designer, they don't even read what they're designing. But with Dove, we invited him to sort of collaborate, where he would be creating a design based on what the content was and really thinking through all those different pieces of the content. So we were really happy with how it turned out. There's a lot to learn. It's very rich.
If you're,
More than what it appears to be?
This is just sort of, it's not actually at the height of a real tree, but this idea of planting trees for the future, and that trees are growing, not sort of like the story from the Giving Tree, that you're not planting trees for yourself, but you're planting trees for the future.
And there's an interactive part here where you can actually.
Yeah, there'll be a book there, much like our common books, where people can draw a tree from their memory, a tree that's important to them, and hopefully annotate it with some information about the tree that they're drawing. And there's the art packs that the education department is doing, has a lot of things like that as well, like tree drawing activities, tree making activities.
there's some nice opportunities to connect the Pardes wall downstairs to the mystical information here about Pardes. So if you're ever giving kind of a hybrid tour, you're giving an introduction that starts downstairs, it might be nice to start with the Pardes wall and you can connect here, just depending on who your group is and what they might want to focus on.
Yeah.
I'm just curious about this. Is this a seating area for kids or will there be an
There'll be books.
Yeah. Oh, great.
It's the kid book area that we have in the swing in the front. Yeah, that'll be here. Yeah.
And we're ordering for educators, actually docents too if you want to use these on your tours, but I'm ordering a couple copies of The Giving Tree, and I know a couple people have requested the Lorax too, just for school groups. I mean, there's not a reference to the Lorax in the show, but so if there are other books you think you might want, let me know and I'll see what we can arrange.
Is there any, I know you had a couple of big printouts of this, but way to read the text so without being here?
I posted on the Yahoo group today, but it's in this form, so you're getting these really long PDFs, but you will be able to, like, you can zoom in on certain sections. So yeah, they're on the Yahoo groups. If for some reason you're having trouble accessing it, let me know, but we don't have a text version, a Word version of it.
Any other questions about this room or anything else in the show?
A lot of stuff.
Yeah, and I know I say this in every show, but I really, really hope that you will help us protect the artwork and be really mindful of where you are and really paying attention to where you're pointing and how you're pointing, because we're doing as much as we can to keep people away from the artworks, but at a certain point, you know, it's really on you and the security officers to make sure people are respecting the space and not getting too close. So I really hope that you can do that for us. Thank you.
I
Yeah.
have a question about the lighting. Is it always going to be?
The lighting is not finished yet.
Yeah, the show doesn't open until, well, the press preview's on Wednesday, so you're not seeing a completed gallery.
Yeah. Thanks.
Great. So if you have other questions, feel free to pass them to me. Actually,